Hi, it's Lori, and I am cleaning my glasses right now because I'm gonna need them because I have a script and I'm gonna be reading from it today. So that's how this video is gonna roll. Yeah, we're gonna talk about my doctor's appointment. We're gonna talk about my symptoms, all of my symptoms. We're gonna talk about my lab results. That's gonna be in this video, so don't go away. I do want to say thank you to everyone who left me comments in my last video about my doctor's appointment. I don't remember what the title was. Haven't been to the doctor in however long. I finally went to the doctor, something like that. Anyway, the comment section was wonderful. Thank you so much for your kindness and for your prayers, for all your wonderful comments. And I really appreciate you folks who told me about what you have going on. Like, you know, I have had this or that for however long, and I'm keeping it under control, and that's really encouraging. So I appreciate that very much. Thank you. In today's video, I have a notebook. I told you I have a script right here. Sticky notes, notebook pages full. I have lab results. I even have an index card and more sticky notes. So I just got to writing this morning and writing and writing and writing, and I just kept right on writing. So I thought, you know what? I've done this before. I'm going to do it again. I'm just going to read from everything that I wrote. And what it basically turned into was me writing as if I was talking to you. So I don't know why. I don't know why. But okay, so let me start out by giving a little bit of an idea what this video is going to be about. So it's kind of like, and here are the previews from last week's episode. So, okay, haven't been to the doctor in over 20 years. And that's a fact. I know. Unless you want to count the time I went to urgent care because I had a ridiculous case of poison ivy, or when I had my carpal tunnel surgery a few years ago, and that was the orthopedic doctor that I went to for that. So it wasn't like a family doctor that was like checking me out, giving me the whole workup and physical and all that good stuff. But I haven't had a family doctor in over 20 years. What brought all this on? Well, okay, let me just start. 3 weeks ago, my youngest, he's 23, or he's almost 23. Don't rush it. So let's start over. My youngest, who is 22. He's doing some personal training right now. And in doing so, he checks his clients' blood pressures. Well, it just kind of came up in conversation, and so he just randomly decided to check my blood pressure. And when he did, he said, I recommend you see your physician, because I'm looking here because I wanted to tell you what it was. At that time, when he checked it, it was 167 over 109. So that kind of prompted me to kind of keep track of my blood pressure, and I've been doing it every day since then. And that was, like I said, about 3 weeks ago. Where's my thing that I wrote it on? Oh, hold on. It's right here. I'll just put this in front of me too in case I decide to rattle off the numbers to you or something. But anyway, okay, so let's back up even further. Let's go back to the last 4 months, about the last 4 months. And here's where I'm going to tell you about all my symptoms. And the blood pressure was just what kind of pushed me over that ledge and made me say, yeah, I do need to go to the doctor. So I just want to say this is kind of hard for me to talk about because I'm just not like a woe is me or a poor me kind of person, you know. But yeah, at the same time, I do want to be open about it, and I want to give you guys the details. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this. And I'm just kind of checking my notes because I did write all this down in kind of an order of the way I wanted to talk about it so that it all makes sense and it's not all jumbled up in my mind, because it will be if I don't do it this way. Like I said, we're going back over the last 4 months, and there's been good days here and there. So, you know, mostly not, if I'm being honest. I'd say in the past 2 months, probably, there have hardly been any. And yes, I have put up a front in some of my videos. Not often. I don't want to be fake. I'm not here to be fake. But at the same time, I've kind of been in denial about it. Like, yeah, I feel like hot garbage today, but that's all right. It's just temporary. It'll pass. Well, it's not passing. In fact, it's worsening. I've even had some days where, like, between jobs or at the end of the workday, I've almost been in tears. So, I mean, just being honest, it's true. I've almost been in tears just because, like, oh, just because of how I feel. All right, so let me start out by reading this little sticky note here. This is just a list of all my symptoms. Let me just rattle them all off right now. Intense aches and pains, headaches, a tingling sensation, brain fog, occasional lightheadedness and dizziness, muscle weakness, reduced stamina, extreme exhaustion, and fatigue. So let's break those down and kind of take a little deep dive. I am going to be looking down at this notebook because, like I said, I wrote all this down, and I'm not gonna read it like it's a script, okay? And I know I've said that in videos before where I've written and I've read from what I had written down. I'm not gonna read it like a script, but I am gonna kind of read from it, or keep my memory refreshed from it, refresh my recollection. So I do have the normal aches and pains that come with age. I'm 56, and I would say that over the past 2 to 4 months, that has pretty much doubled in intensity, I guess, those aches and pains. And I know there's some days where I'm not pleasant to be around. I know that. And in fact, there was one day where I was almost in tears, and I just sat down and told John, I am so sorry, but I hurt. I just hurt. I'm so tired of hurting like this. I don't, and he's like, what do you mean? What hurts? And I mean, he was being genuine. He wasn't like, what are you talking about? Nothing like that. He was genuinely asking. And I was just like, I don't know, just like everything. So that covers the first thing that was on my list, the intense aches and pains everywhere. And the next thing was the headaches. And I mean, what can you really say about headaches? They're pretty much daily. So yeah, daily headaches. And oh, the tingling sensation. Oh, this tingling, kind of prickly tingling sensation across the top of my back. Like, it's not doing it right now, but I would say I have that about 70% of the time, just as a guess. But it's like right across like my shoulder area on my upper back, and even kind of goes up into my neck a little bit to where it's like, oh gosh, it's so super annoying. It's really annoying. Is my camera crooked? Okay, I adjusted it a little bit. It looks better to me now. Anyway, what else? Brain fog. Brain fog, yeah. But not the kind of brain fog where it's like, I can't remember what I was saying. Or the kind where you walk into the room and you can't remember why. Not that kind of brain fog. Well, that's either brain fog or you saw an alien and he erased your memory. No, seriously, it's like ridiculous brain fog. Like, I'll be, for instance, making a cup of coffee, have the Keurig brewing a cup of coffee, and I'll be standing there waiting for it and thinking, what was I just gonna do? And I'll be seriously standing there thinking for a minute before I realize, oh yeah, I was gonna grab the half and half. I mean, that's frustrating, But anyway, brain fog. Even at my jobs, my routines are off because of the brain fog, and I'm forgetting things because I'm out of routine because of the brain fog. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's this whole, everything about what I'm telling you today is just frustrating. I might say that word a lot throughout this video. I'm not sure if I wrote it down at all, but I might say it anyway. I might ad-lib a little bit. But yeah. And later, like when I come home from my job, sometimes I'll be like, did I do this or that? I can't remember. Did I leave that trash bag sit by the back door, or did I put it in the bin? I don't think I did it. Just stuff like that. Okay. Muscle weakness. It's been hard for me to like lug all my equipment, my supplies in and out of houses and up and down stairs. And I have a routine down with taking all my stuff in. I have my cleaning bag, which has quite a bit in it, so it's somewhat heavy. I sling that over my shoulder. It has a strap. It's a big bag with a strap. I'll sling that over my shoulder, take my bucket and put it on my arm. I got my broom and my mop, and I put it in this hand that has the cleaning bag, the bucket, broom and mop in this hand, and I grab my vacuum cleaner by its little handle thing, and I lift it out, and I can actually hold all of that and grab the handle of that and push the button to close my door of the Flex, and I can walk into my house just like this. It's sort of heavy, but I can do it without a real big issue until recently. It's like, yeah, I gotta make 2 trips now. That sucks, doesn't it? And then up and down the steps, like, oh, what can I leave downstairs that I don't even have to bother to take up with me? I need all this stuff, you know. Ugh. But like I said, again, frustrating. Reduced stamina. Yeah, I've been really struggling to finish some of my jobs. I've really been struggling with that. And there's actually been, so I don't know, a week or 2 ago, there was one job where I didn't even finish it because I couldn't. Like, I physically couldn't finish it. And I was done enough to where the only thing I really had left was like my finishing touches, because I kind of like to put this little touch of perfection on where make all the sweeper lines just perfect and everything as I'm walking out the door. And I didn't do that. Everything was like done. I just didn't add my touches of perfection, if you want to say it that way. It's true. I like to do that. But yeah, that's just not me. It's just not me. I do things the way I do them, and that's what everybody's used to, and I take pride in it. So anyway, the big one. Here's the big one. The extreme exhaustion and fatigue. And I know some people use, and you can use exhaustion and fatigue kind of interchangeably, but they mean a little bit, they have slightly different meanings to me, I guess, in my head. Like, exhaustion would be like really flippin' tired because I just been doing too much, or I'm mentally exhausted or something like that, you know, or just didn't get enough sleep or whatever. But fatigue kind of kicks it up a notch where you can feel it physically. Like, for instance, if let's say you're lifting weights and it's arm day, you're curling the 25-pound dumbbells and you do that 10 times. And then you put it down, you have your couple-minute rest period or whatever. You pick it back up again. And this time you only get 6 because your muscles are a little fatigued, right? And then you go and do your 3rd set. You only get 4 this time. And by the time you get in the house, you can barely even lift up your coat to hang it up because your muscles are so fatigued. That's what I've been feeling, only not because I've been lifting, for no real apparent reason. I understand I just get done working or whatever, and I've been working on my muscles. I've been doing that for years. It's not because of that. It's not right. It's just not normal. I mean, my legs, like the muscles in my legs from top to bottom, feel like I've been running around the track a couple times. I don't run. I'm just saying, like that kind of fatigue where they seriously feel, my legs will feel like seriously weak, very weak because they're so fatigued. And my arms do too. Mostly like if I'm raising my arms, like washing windows, mirrors, stuff like that, it's like, oh God, yeah. Anyway, that's what I consider to be fatigue as opposed to exhaustion. I've been getting so incredibly exhausted that, like I mentioned before, I almost want to cry about it. I mean, like, between jobs, or, I mean, okay, so like between jobs, sometimes I think, oh my God, I don't know if I can do this again. God, I don't know if I can do it. But, you know, and by the end of the day, I just feel fried, like completely beat up. This is also kind of why my videos have been kind of few and far between lately, kind of sporadic lately. I mean, I still have an Easter brunch video that I never put up. It's just like showing you what I made, but I still haven't even put that up yet. But anyway, once I finish working, I got nothing left. Like, I don't even want to turn on the camera and talk. I'm that exhausted. All I want to do is go home and just sit back and rest. In fact, when I got my blood test results back with some possible answers, stick around because we're going to get to that. That's going to be in this video. I came home and I told my guys about it, and Josh said, well, that explains to me why I can't tell you how many times in the past couple of months that you've come home and said how tired you are and just went and crashed out for a bit. And I am reading that. So I'm not trying to fake you guys out. I am reading a lot of this from my paper. But yeah, and I didn't even realize that my guys were noticing so much, but they were. they did notice a big difference in me. And if you're new here, first of all, thanks for being here. But when I say my guys, we're a household of 6. And it's me and John and our 4 boys, right? So we got Josh as the oldest, and there's Chase and Brendan, and our grand guy, Hayden. He's our grandson, and he is a teenager. So, yeah. So it's me and my 5 guys. Okay, and if there's any questions about our household, feel free to ask. Just put it in the comments below. Okay, so back to it. They noticed a difference in me. Like, Chase doesn't drive, so he needs rides places. Well, he hasn't really been asking me for rides. He's been asking his brothers instead. So, yeah, and something else that I've been doing is... Hold on, I gotta turn my page. Yeah, but I've been coming home, dragging butt, feeling like I got hit by a truck, right? And there's almost always someone home. So I'll come in and I'll say, like, hey, Josh, I'm insanely tired, so make sure things get done so I can go rest. I don't care who does it. I don't care if you do it or if you delegate, or I don't really care, just so it gets done. Take the trash out. Fold the laundry that I left in the dryer. Take care of the dogs and the cats. Put the dishes away. Work out dinner because I'm not doing it tonight, you know? So, and oh, and can you pick up Hayden from track tonight, or ask Brendan to do it or something? I gotta go rest. So what I literally do is I'll just go in and grab some clean, comfy clothes, go in and take literally like a 2-minute shower. And I'll come in here. This is where I hang out. I'll come in here and I will just sink down into this chair with my pillow that I put behind my head to lean on. And right here, I have my Def Leppard blankie right here. And I will just cozy up in this chair, put my feet up, put on a video or a playlist or something, and I literally go to sleep. I go to sleep. I take a nap. I don't nap. On a regular basis, I don't nap. So that's what I've been doing. And I'm telling you, ooh, shaky. This is all very frustrating to me. It really is, because I like to go, 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 you know? And like when I make videos and I'm busy, running here, running there, doing this, doing that, it's not because I'm saying, oh, look how much I do. Look how busy I am. That's not it. I like being busy. I really do. And I haven't been able to do that lately. I can't. So super frustrating. Yeah. Okay. And I know that if I get back to lifting weights, working out on a regular basis, that will help me to feel better. But right now, I literally can't. I physically can't do it. Like when I get home, I seriously can't. So that's it for the notes that I took. I have no more notes. I do have my blood pressure numbers written down. I'll tell you a little bit. When I first started, where's the thing? Oh, there's the first page. Okay, the first page. It's written down on cards. I have 3 of them going now. But anyway, yeah, like I said, the first one was 167 over 109. There was a couple days later, it was 175 over 110. And you got a 168 over 98. Here's a 142 over 87. So that's kind of like my first few days of checking my blood pressure. And then I went to the doctor that first time and he gave me blood pressure meds. He gave me, let me show you. Okay. It is losartan, 100 milligrams. And so my blood pressure did start to come down and normalize a little bit, where we're looking at like 140s, 130s. There's a day here where it was actually 117 over 83. And then it was like 140 over 85, you know. And anyway, I showed these numbers to my doctor. Oh, gosh darn it. Okay, gotta get my cards in order here. Get my ducks in a row. When he looked at those numbers, the first thing he said was, okay, excuse my language, but this is what he said. So how you feeling? You been dragging ass? And I said, yeah, I have, actually. And he said, I'm not surprised. He said, we're not normal yet, but there's some days in there where your blood pressure was pretty normal. So he said, it's coming down too fast for my liking, is what he said. And he said, that's why you feel like that. So he actually gave me different meds that it's half the strength. Like this bottle is the 100 milligram. This one is the same med, but it's 50 milligrams. So he told me to switch down to those, and it wouldn't come down quite so fast and make me have the symptoms, like feeling like I got run over by a hot garbage truck. Okay, let me take a drink real quick. Hold on. Okay, so the lab results. Here's the lab results. And this first page, all this stuff, I'm not even sure what all that stuff is, if I'm being honest, but it's all normal. So whatever it is, it's normal. So he didn't go over it with me. He went over the stuff that wasn't normal. This one's highlighted right here. So this is the one that really shocked me, if I'm being honest. A1C, 5.9. I'm pre-diabetic. I was like, really? So what happened was I had an appointment to go back to get the results, but a few days before my appointment, I have the app, and I got the results on the app. So here I am, a few days away from my appointment. I can't even talk to the, well, I could have called and talked to him, but I'm just saying, it left me to kind of research everything on my own, which I did. I researched for hours on this stuff. And I mean, I looked at that when I'm like, pre-diabetic, really? Really? I wouldn't have guessed that, because like, I mean, I didn't think I like ate that bad. I didn't think I was that bad, but that's what it says. That's what it says. So let's move on to the next page. Okay. Next page is cholesterol, and it's high. I have high cholesterol. So total cholesterol is 245. I don't know a lot about cholesterol, like LDL and HDL and stuff. So I'll just tell you what it says. So it says HDL is 48, but LDL is 155. And I know that's high. Well, that's all I'm going to say about it, because I don't know a whole lot about like cholesterol numbers. And I'm going to save this top one right here on this next page. I'm going to save that one for last, because that's the big one. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so I'll read this page backwards from bottom to top. Glucose is at 115, which is high. And here's the next one, ApoB, which is okay, let me see if I can say it right. Apolipoprotein B. So it's ApoB for short. And I did research it a bunch, but I am not going to go into what it is. All I'm going to say is it does have to do, it relates to the cholesterol stuff, and it has to do with like your heart and cardiovascular disease. Mine is at 123, which is high. So the desirable level is less than 90. Borderline high is 90 to 99. High is 100 to 130. And very high is greater than 130. And mine is at 123. So I am at high, which is high risk for cardiovascular disease. That was pretty concerning to me as well when I read that. Like I said, I'm a few days away from being able to actually talk to my doctor about this. So it's like, oh, why do you do that? Give people results like this. Okay. So the last thing that I want to talk about is vitamin D. I am vitamin D deficient. And so the reference range is 30 to 100. And he said he usually keeps his, he said just for something to base it on, he says, I usually keep mine around 100 to 120. He said, you don't have to do what I do. He said, I'm just telling you what mine's usually around 100. And he said, if somebody came in with vitamin D level at 30, I would tell them that is way too low, even though that is in the range of being okay. He said, I would tell them that's too low. He said, in my opinion, that is too low. So he said, I want people to shoot for 50. That's where I would like it to be. Mine is at 10. Yeah, mine's at 10. So he said, yours isn't just ridiculously low. yours is impressive. He said, honestly, he said, I've never seen it that low. So I was like, really? I'm like, well, what am I doing wrong? Why is it that low? And so he said that he believes it's because I had the crud, or COVID, if you will, at the beginning of the year, and it just knocked me on my butt. Knocked me for a loop. And he doesn't think that's 100% like why it's low. It was probably low to begin with, but he said he thinks that's what really gave me a hard hit with the vitamin D deficiency. So, what are you supposed to do to bring it back up? You can't possibly eat enough and get enough vitamin D through diet to bring it up from 10. So I'm having to supplement with some vitamin D supplements. No big deal, right? So he said, write this down. Well, first he was like having me calculate, like, okay, your weight, now multiply that by this and divide it by, I don't know. I couldn't begin to tell you, but he had me figuring. So, okay, so he said, here's what I want you to take. And he was writing it on a whiteboard. And as he was writing it on the whiteboard, I was writing it on here. He says, D3, 5,000 IU. Get the 90 capsules. And within 2 months' time, I want you to have all 90 of those in you. He says, I don't care if you take 1 a day, 2 a day, 3 a day. He said, I'd rather you just took 2 a day instead of 3 because you don't want to take a risk of developing kidney stones. So that is my results. And he believes that the vitamin D level could possibly be causing a lot of what's going on with the rest of these results. So that's the first thing we're focusing on. And I go back in 4 weeks for another blood test and we'll go from there. So right now I'm feeling a little bit better. Maybe it's the vitamin D. I don't really know. Maybe it's, I've changed my diet, which he didn't really go over the cholesterol or telling me to change my diet or anything like that, because that's one of the first things I said to him was, just so you know, I've already changed my diet. So I cut out sugar. I haven't cut out carbs. I'm really just eating. So if I'm eating carbs, it's mainly like maybe a little bit of fruit, but not much because of that pre-diabetic thing. But I have had an apple. I've had some blueberries. I put blueberries into some yogurt, and I got some of the 0% Faye, or it's not Faye, I got like store brand, I think Meyer brand or something, I can't remember. Yeah, I think it was like Meyer brand 0% yogurt and some blueberries. I got, well, I already have like the Dave's Killer Bread, the sprouted bread. So if I am eating anything that's carbs, it's like whole grains or like the sprouted breads, stuff like that. I think the sprouted grains, I should say. But yeah, I don't think there was anything else I wanted to go over on this. I think I've told you everything that's of importance on this lab work. So yeah, I think I've told it all. I've already changed my diet, like I said, and I've only dropped like 2 pounds. So I didn't really think I was eating that bad, though. That's why that pre-diabetic thing really threw me for a loop. I was like, wow, really? You know? And I don't really know if there was anything else I was going to say today on this video, but I really feel like I've left something out. And if I have, editing Lori will pop back in and let you know. So, and if you don't see editing Lori, then I said everything I wanted to say. But you know that brain fog thing I was talking about? Yeah. Yeah, it's real. It's real. Editing Lori here. Hey. Different shirt, same day. So I remembered what I was going to say. Yeah. Can you believe it? Yay, me. So the doctor actually said, well, his nurse said it. She said, so right now, a trip to Florida, you need a trip to Florida, so tell your husband. Vacation time. And the doctor said, actually, that would be an excellent idea right now. It's not going to happen, so that's not what I was going to say. But they did tell me that. And I don't know how quickly the vitamin D from the sun actually affects you. But the day of the eclipse, when I was outside all day, I felt really good. Like, I felt wonderful. And the next day, I even felt really pretty good. So, I don't know. I'm just saying. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Okay, that's going to be it, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.